Hello, I'm Juan Davis, Chief Creative Officer at KCT and PBS SoCal, and I'm joined by the newsroom of KPCC and LAist on a daily reporter roundup. How are you all?
Well, thank you.
And welcome, Natalie. Let's start with you today. What is the latest on how and when we might reopen?
LA County Public Health Director Barbara Ferrer told the Board of Supervisors today that stay-at-home orders are going to be extended for another 3 months unless something drastic changes. So that's the bad news. AirTalk looked at how that's going to affect the retail industry, and it does mean pain for small businesses, especially those without an online presence, because online shopping is going to be the way to go, along with curbside pickup. Retailers are also looking at long-term changes. We talked to Ulsa Metchek of the California Fashion Association, who said some apparel retailers are clearing their floor plans and putting up example outfits that you just point to and someone brings them to you. So this kind of touch minimal experience could eventually be the future of brick and mortar shopping.
With all of us staying at home, this pandemic has a lot of people experiencing mental health issues. Lots of people are struggling right now. And we have a couple of reporters in the room following that. Carla's been checking in with schools.
Yeah, even when there isn't a pandemic, many students depend on schools for mental health support already, whether that's checking in with a counselor or meeting regularly with a social worker. And it's clear that that need for support during this crisis is huge and growing, but with campuses closed, connecting with those struggling students can be really difficult. LA Unified has had a pretty unique approach to this. They started this hotline. We got the data from that hotline. Last month, it received just under 280 mental health related calls, most from concerned parents and teachers. And school mental health at the district overall, this time last year, pre-pandemic, served more than 9,000 students. But this year, with the closures and the crisis, served just over 3,500. Experts I spoke with say that drop is a challenge not isolated to LAUSD, but if it continues, there can be a whole nother wave of mental health challenges that will endure even after this pandemic hopefully passes.
On a related note, Robert's been checking in on how frontline workers are faring, how their mental health is faring as they battle this virus.
Yeah, I talked with someone from the local nursing home workers union today. She was talking about frontline workers not only struggling to process the death toll at work, but they're also extremely anxious about bringing the virus home to vulnerable family members. Mental health experts are saying this prolonged stress environment will have a lasting impact, especially for people like doctors, nurses, and paramedics. I spoke with a doctor with the American Psychiatric Association who said we're probably going to see people developing psychological disorders like depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder. He recommends borrowing the military idea of battle buddies for some frontline workers. That would mean pairing people up to check in with one another and just tell someone when you think they need a break because they might not be able to realize it on their own. But he said getting people in the healthcare world to seek mental health support for themselves can be really hard because sometimes they're just, so laser focused on other people all the time.
And finally today, Frank has been looking into the story that LA County jail inmates were intentionally trying to get sick, hoping that that would help them get out of jail.
Yeah, this allegedly happened at the sprawling Pitches jail in northern LA County. Sheriff Villanueva showed videos depicting inmates inside one dorm drinking from the same container and sniffing from the same mask. It's impossible to determine from watching this video if they are actually sharing the virus. But Villanueva said within a week, 21 inmates from the same dorm had the virus. The sheriff believes they were trying to get released by getting infected, an accusation the inmates denied, he said. Inmate rights advocates were outraged by the accusation. Patrisse Cullors, a plaintiff in a lawsuit against the sheriff saying he's failed to properly care for inmates, said he was demonizing incarcerated people. And Lex Stepling of Dignity and Power Now made an interesting point. He wondered why the video showed a room with a lot of inmates where social distancing was impossible for them. The sheriff is grappling with a growing number of COVID-19 cases in the jails. Infections nearly doubled in the last week to 357.
Well, thank you all at the KPCC and LAist newsroom. And thank you all for tuning in. Take care of your health, take care of your family, and we will see you tomorrow.